What is up, guys? Welcome to the video. My name is Danny Tran. I'm going to be walking you guys through your first show week. No better time than to make this video since I'm currently 3 days out from my show. I feel absolutely phenomenal, so I want to give you guys some value and just help you guys eliminate any last-minute panics, show up your competition ready with the proper planning, preparation, and stress-free execution. If you're watching this, you've probably been prepping for the past 16 to 20 weeks, and the last thing you want to do is head into your first show week absolutely stressful and reactive, and we understand how stress can play on the body. Okay. So if you guys like this, please comment down below what you guys want to see. Like this because it does support the channel and it can help me make more videos like this for you guys. So other than that, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to DM me at Danny21Tran on Instagram and I'll get back to you there. So let's go ahead and head into the presentation. So the biggest thing, guys, when you're going to your first show week, number one, planning. Okay. Sounds very simple, right? But I'm going to walk you guys through some tactical things I like to do to make sure that, you can copy the strategies and do it yourself, okay? So the show week success foundation, we're going to break it into 4 blocks, okay? Because your first show week doesn't have to be very stressful, okay? When you plan ahead, you build the uttermost confidence so that you can go into your show week knowing that you're going to be presenting to your best because everything's already planned out, right? A show day is just another day. If you've been doing your off season right, your improvement season right, all you have to do is go up there, present your best, and making sure that you're ready to go, having that frame of mind, okay? Because one thing is, heading into peak week, it isn't about any changing results that you're going to have. You definitely want to listen to your coach. It's about having flawless execution of your preparation, right? Because when you're going into your first show week, okay, and you're putting all this money down, the investment to food, the gym memberships, your time and your effort, the last thing you want to do is go in show day knowing that you left a lot of things on the table. Okay, so we're going to go over a lot of the strategies I have for you so you can eliminate a lot of the stress and any mistakes through a systematic preparation and detailed planning for every aspect of your show. Okay, so I'm going to break down that as well. And confidence through preparation is another thing I wanted to break up into that block as well, because true confidence comes from thorough preparation. Okay, when you know exactly what time your tanning is, you know exactly time that you need to be on stage, because that can be very stressful. Imagine waking up late, going to your first prejudging, and you're rushing. You don't get to pump up. You don't get to carb up just because you didn't plan, okay? The body, the mind, and the soul, okay? All of those things have to be aligned. Last thing you want to do, again, 16, 20 weeks of prep, going in there with a shitty frame of mind, you're not going to be successful, right? Whether you get first place or not, if you do get first place and you walk off stage and you know that, man, I left a lot of things on the table because I didn't plan, that is the worst feeling you can have. So we're going to focus on keeping your body and mind in a very optimal condition through a structured routine, stress management techniques that I'm going to be walking you guys through. Okay. All right. So why does planning ahead matter? When you plan ahead, you get to mitigate stress. Okay. When you have strategic planning, prevents last minute panics, keeps your body in a very optimal condition for peak performance on show day. So there's a lot of tools I'm going to be talking to you guys about in this video, but when you plan ahead, guys, and you have everything laid out for yourself, you're going to come in at your best because wherever your mind goes, the body will follow. Okay, so we're going to learn how to avoid stress and costly mistakes through systematic preparation and detailed scheduling. We're going to keep the body and mind ready for a structured routine that maintains peak conditioning. You want to set your environment up exactly like you do throughout the weekday, right? Because a show day is just another day. When you're checking into your Airbnb, you want to set it up exactly like if it is at home, whether it's a hotel, putting your food in the fridge the same way you do, because waking up, if you have things that are in order, like, the room temperature that you sleep in, what side of the bed you sleep on, all those things matter, right? Because it makes your body realize that you're still in the same environment. It's almost like you guys ever travel on vacation and, you sleep on a couch or a bed and you're like, I didn't really get the best sleep. It's because you're not in your usual environment, okay? You're going to have the most confidence, right, when you come from preparation, knowing you cover every detail and contingency, right? As far as the physical mental optimization, proper planning allows you to focus on posing, presentation, and execution rather than scrambling for last-minute solutions, which you should not be doing during peak week. So, obviously, we understand stress increases a lot of the cortisol, which tends to hold a lot of water on people. And some people are a little bit more sensitive, right? Some people could feel like they're very stressed and not hold water. Some people get stressed for a couple minutes and they hold tons of water. So that could lead to a lot of water retention and a flat appearance on stage, and that's not what we want, okay? So when you plan ahead, guys, I know it sounds so simple, but planning ahead allows you to focus on your posing because everything is timed out. You're tanning, the class is booked, you're posing music. All you have to do is just show up and perform, okay? And it's going to give you peace of mind with the confidence that I got this under control, right? And we've all heard the term control what you can, right? So head into the next one. So the goal of peak week, there we go. So the goal of peak week, fine tuning conditioning only. So making small adjustments to enhance your already excitement conditioning, excellent conditioning without drastic changes. Number 2, stay predictable always. Avoid last minute experiences, stick to proven methods that got you this far. And then number 3, focus on execution, concentrate on flawless execution rather than chase perfection in the final weeks. So if you have a coach, you need to be trusting the process, right? This is not the week to go educate yourself and have too many cooks in the kitchen because it can really steer away from the physique that you want to present. If you're heading into peak week, show week, you should be already ready to go, okay? So I know a lot of people go into their peak week, they start watching YouTube videos, they start, learning, and they're like, oh man, like I should increase my salt, right? Because I listened to this on a podcast. That can be the worst thing you can do, guys. As you're heading into your goal peak week, everything should be very consistent. The time you go to sleep, your sleep hygiene, the time you wake up. So you should already have been facilitating that all of prep, right? The time you wake up, because the last thing is you don't want to wake up at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock every single day and eat your first meal, knowing that you usually have to be up at 5 and maybe have prejudging at 8. Okay, that can be the worst thing because your body's not ready to wake up. It is still in that parasympathetic system. And as you guys know, being in that system, the resting and digesting is fine. But the moment you wake up and you're in that sympathetic system, your body's not going to be ready to digest food. Okay. All right. And to the next one. Boom. So how are we going to structure your show week? So Monday through Friday, you should have your routine down, just like I said, from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. That needs to be very consistent, okay? Because how you wake up, the time you wake up, is going to be very important on dictating the look that you have, okay? So Monday through Wednesday, you should already have that set in stone weeks ahead, and you're just kind of rinsing and repeating that, okay? So Monday through Wednesday, that's what you're focusing on. You're going to maintain your established routine and focus on proper digestion while following your structured meal plan, okay? Again, if you're coaching yourself, that's a different story. But if you have a coach in your corner, trust the process, listen to it, and try to make everything as timely as possible on the day-to-day basis, okay? Now, as far as Monday through Wednesday, you should already book your class and your tanning, okay? I know a lot of people wait last minute. I've had clients myself, friends that I know that book their class and tanning the day before or the day of, right? And sometimes booking the day of, they're going to add on late fees, right? They're going to say, hey, you owe us a late fee. Now you're throwing more money that doesn't really need to be there, and that could stress you out as well, okay? But as far as music, that should also be taken care of if you are in classic physique, bodybuilding, or even women's physique. Go ahead and crop your music, okay? I'm going to show you guys how to do that as well so that you can fade it out so that when you're going on there, the DJ doesn't mess it up. Because I've had instances where DJs mess up my music because they start at the wrong time or they fade it way too long and you actually miss your beat drop, okay? Now, as far as Thursday, if you are traveling this day, I would always recommend traveling a couple of days early if you can, if finances allowed and your work schedule allows, just so you can handle logistics with traveling, because you always know there's always going to be traffic, okay? If you think you're the only one going to show day or you think you're the only one going to that destination, everybody's traveling into it that weekend, right? Is it probability? Is it statistics? I don't know, okay? Make sure registration is complete and make sure that you have your food dialed in, packed up, ready to go, because the last thing you want to do is be on the road for 8-9 hours and not have your meals on you, okay? Now, as far as Friday, this is your rest final touches, okay? At this point, you shouldn't be training, okay? You're not going to be putting on muscle. You're not going to get leaner. If you need to make weight, you should have prepared for that, okay? Friday is where you're going to be focusing on your rest and recovery, kicking your feet up, pulling off inflammation, and just putting yourself in a good frame of mind where you are calm, you are peaceful, and you are grateful that you get to be able to do this, all right? Now, as far as Saturday, this is where you will execute your carefully planned show day in terms of your carb up, your water intake, your sodium with confidence and precision. Okay. All right, here we go. Now, as far as travel and logistics planning go, okay, you want to secure your logistics foundations with a proper hotel booking, either the host hotel or finding an Airbnb close to that. Because I know sometimes hotels don't really have kitchens. And sometimes microwaving food sometimes can cause you digestive issues. And that's the last thing you want. Okay. And then in terms of venue confirmation, make sure it is the venue and you're not going to the host hotel or the tanning hotel. I've seen that happen before, and that is not a pleasant surprise to actually hear. Okay. So again, book hotels near venue to minimize any travel stress and maximize rest times. All right. The closer you can book it, the better you'll be to be able to get enough sleep so that you can either just walk over there or it's a couple-minute drive. Okay. And then make sure you're confirming your tan appointment times, registration, which I'll show you guys exactly how I like to do it as well. And then just make sure you research backup dining option in case your meal plan needs adjustments. All right. Because I understand sometimes if you've cooked your chicken earlier in the week and it's show day, the last thing you want there is to have food poisoning or your chicken going bad. And then that's always going to be a world of a storm there. Okay. Now, in terms of your nutrition and meal prepping, you want to ensure you have consistent nutrition through proper meal preparation and backup foods planned throughout the show week. All right. So bring extra just in case. Most gas stations, most grocery stores have pre-made meats already to go. So that's something I like to pick up if worst case scenario. But I would always lean towards the side of just buying it, cooking it at the Airbnb, just so it's fresh and it digests very well. Okay. Label all meals day by day and time for easy identification. So personally for me, you can either do Ziploc bags or Tupperware and just put a time on it. Pre-workout meal, post-workout meal, meal 1, meal 2, meal 3. Just so it's a little bit more easy to identify, because your whole prep, you should have been eating the same foods at the same time. If you're going from like meal 1 to meal 5 and you're switching it up like that, it could cause some digestion issues. Okay. And then bring a cooler with ice packs. All right. That's huge. That's another thing, right? And use prep meals for consistency if needed. I'm not the biggest fan of using prep foods unless you really trust them, because you don't know what they put in it. If it's just bland chicken, grilled, or just beef in general, that's something you can also focus on utilizing. Okay. Now, in terms of show day essentials, I know so many people are walking through their show day forgetting bands, and they think that there's going to be some behind stage, and there's not, and they have nothing to utilize to pump up. So, in terms of your show day essential, bring resistance bands. All right. You can always ask your local gym to borrow some, or just grab some on Amazon for $15-20 so that you can have a proper warm-up routine. And you can actually loosen up, stretch out before you walk up there and present your best. Okay. Bring snacks, right? Whatever your coach assigns, make sure that you bring your snacks and your quick energy sources, whether it's honey, whether you're bringing salt, bringing extra water. You always want to be backstage ready to go, because I truly believe the last thing you want to do is try to borrow things from people when they're already depleted, they're already fatigued, and they're tired. Sometimes you might not get the best reaction. Okay. Now, before you even travel, you want to make sure that you have your presentation items. Last thing is leaving the house knowing that, man, shit, I left my trunks at home. Imagine how stressful you'll be there. So create a checklist for yourself. Posing trunks, resistance bands, pump up material, health supplements, registration, tanning, have everything laid out. So before you even leave the house, you can go ahead and make a checklist and check them off, knowing that, all right, everything's set to go. All I have to do is get to the Airbnb or the hotel, settle in, and I'm good to go. Okay. So competition suits with backup options if necessary, because you never know if it rips. I've seen girls break their heels and they have to put a little soft foam under it. Doesn't look the prettiest, but again, make sure you bring backup pairs just in case somehow you forget. All right. Now, if you're doing your own tan, again, you want to make sure you're already exfoliating, you're shaved, you're ready to go, so that you're not doing it last minute, because that last minute option that I've been talking to you guys about for the last 14 minutes can cause a lot of problems, right? Imagine shaving yourself and then this tan is going into your pores. Then you have another show. That's not going to be a pretty look. Now you're going to cause a lot of rashes, and it's not going to be pretty. Okay. In terms of performance heels and comfortable flip-flops, you want to make sure that you are bringing an all black comfort suit to walk around, clothes, sweatpants, because tanning itself, you don't want to get the Airbnb dirty, or the hotel, and have to have so many sheets to kind of cover it up. All right. And don't forget your athlete badge number. All right. Now, as far as like practical items, you want to make sure you have a valid ID. Okay. Just in case the NPC card or whatever federation you decide to do, they don't register you or they don't see the account. You always want to make sure you have your ID. Okay. Because for some reasons, most shows require ID just to make sure it is you, because they don't want you using a different federation card or somebody else's card. All right. Phone chargers, huge things. I think like a lot of people look past that. Imagine you are talking to your coach and your phone dies. So have your phone fully charged, have a portable battery, and stay connected throughout the day, because those little adjustments from your coach can be a huge difference to your physique. All right. Now, as you guys know, you are very lean at this point. So being backstage, sometimes the AC is blasting. So make sure you bring a comfortable blanket and any additional snacks for a long day competition, just in case the show runs a little bit over or there's intermissions. Because the last thing is sitting there cold, no food, no water, can definitely derail your physique. All right. And then always try to bring your food scale, the one that you use, not your other bodybuilding friend, because it is calibrated differently. They're using it. It can be different measurements. The same thing goes with your body weight scale. Okay. Now, in terms of mindset and stress management, okay, I broke this into 3 blocks. Number 1, trust your plan. Trust your established plan and coach's guidance rather than second guessing everything. At this point, you're already at the show. There's no need to second guess and cause more stress to your coach by making an emotional decision based on somebody else's information that you're hearing. Okay? Visualize yourself. I truly believe that if you can visualize yourself already winning, whether you win or not, you've already won. The prep itself, 16, 20 weeks, you've already won. You've made the transformations. You've built the discipline, the habits. So visualize yourself walking on stage. Visualize yourself going through your posing routine. Visualization is key, guys. I know a lot of people just sit there, mindlessly drift. I'm like, I'm ready to go. But if you can sit down and visualize yourself going it's going to give you better muscle contractions as you're up there, because you can actually walk through it. And the memory for performance to go up there and mark it and do it, it's going to be flawless. Okay. And the last but not least is keep energy calm. Okay. This is not the time to get super excited and alert. When you have a calm mind, you can perform a lot better, and you know how to actually go up there and hit your shots with perfection. Okay. All right. So here's some common mistakes to avoid, guys. When it comes to nutrition mistakes, avoid these critical errors that can derail months of preparation and compromise your stage presentation. Number 1, trying new foods. Man, when you're going and trying new foods that you have not eaten for the past 16, 20 weeks, that can be a huge storm to your physique, guys. Like, don't go add potato chips or asparagus or greens that you don't usually eat, because at this point, your stomach has shrunk, right? Your stomach is so sensitive to things, even supplements, that can cause a lot of digestive issues and unexpected reactions that literally can change your physique from one day out to looking like you're 16 weeks out. Okay. I've seen that personally. People gain 10 pounds. Cutting water or sodium. Okay. If this is preparation for yourself and you're doing yourself, this is something that you have to do trial and error. Okay. Remember, water's your friend. There's times to actually manipulate water and cut it. But again, if your coach is calling the shots, you need to listen to it and trust the process there. Okay. Avoid cardio, overdoing cardio in the final weeks when your body needs rest. Just like I said earlier, if you are at this point still trying to get off fat, then you are not ready. All right. In terms of logistic preparation mistakes, use proper planning and checklists, just like I said, to avoid these easily preventable mistakes to create the unnecessary stress. Forgetting essential travel items, your toothbrush, your contact solution, things that you usually need at home, bring them. I would always overpack than underpack, especially if it's not in the environment you want. Okay. So use a checklist, guys. It is very, very easy to do. And I feel like if you want to be a pro athlete, plan ahead. Okay. Now, in terms of audio editing demo, I'm going to walk you guys through how I like to do it. So let's jump right in. All right. So this is the posing song that I will be doing 3 days out. So the best thing to do, guys, there's a lot of converters out there. I'm going to walk you guys through. So all I'm going to do is copy this, and then I'm going to go to vid to MP3. Now, some websites won't work normally where they'll make you pay for like subscription or something, but it's very easy. You go to vid to MP3, click on one that suits you, that you understand, And then you'll go down here and you'll choose from URL. Now, sometimes if it's copyrighted, it won't let you. But for example, this doesn't work. We'll try to go to MP4 here. Select files. I will go to by URL. We'll see if this works. Okay. Let's try another one. All right. So best thing to do, guys, we're going to go here is video to MP3. Now, you'll probably have to try a couple websites. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I've already did this. So just to kind of walk you guys through, you'll find your music. You go to video to MP3. It will convert and download into a file. Then you'll go to audio fade out in MP3. You'll go here. You'll drag the file that you have in here. And then once the music pulls up, you will fade it and stop it to the time of your posing routine. Okay? So that's a step-by-step process. I've already cut my music. So again, just want to walk you guys through like a step-by-step on how I kind of walk through it. Okay? But than that, let's get into the presentation. Now, when you're going through your audio editing demo, I think this is very important. Again, most DJs can definitely mess up your demo. So you definitely want to trim any unnecessary sections because sometimes DJs, they'll play it and they just want to get you off stage. If you've been practicing your posing routine and you want to present art and really go out there and show out, present your best physique, trim it. Okay, remove sections you don't need. Anything that doesn't really go with your song, cut it. And then fade it out just so you can end your posing routine very professionally rather than just a straight cut. Because again, if you're getting videographers to film you, last thing you want to do is just have a shitty quality video. You know what I mean? And then when you're editing it through the audio fade in and fade out converter, make sure you keep your volume consistent. You know, sometimes editing the fade in and out can definitely jump your music really high with the volume, which can definitely disrupt your posing routine. Okay. All right. Here is your final 48-hour checklist. Number 1, confirm your TAN schedule. Double check the TAN appointments. Email them, text them to make sure that that is your time. Okay. Thinking your appointment's at 5, showing up at 5, and they've moved it to 7 can be very stressful. Okay. Number 2, pack your essential meals. This should be all the meals you are already eating. And I would always try to say, if you are traveling and driving, I would always try to pack 2 or 3 meals ahead of time, just in case there is a delay. Okay. 3, review your posing plan. If you have a posing routine, right? Sit there, visualize it, put your headphones in, close your eyes, go through that. Because when you're doing it at your house, it is completely different than doing it on stage with the lights with people looking at you. Okay. It causes a lot of people to be freezing on stage, and that doesn't look pretty. Okay. And then number 4, set alarm and hydrate. Set all necessary alarms. All right. The time you need to wake up for your tanning on that Saturday morning, if you are doing touch up, and just make sure you are staying hydrated based on your coach's information and call so that you're not going in there looking flat and not being energized for the show. So, show day is a celebration for all your work. Plan, prepare, execute, trust yourself, and enjoy the moment. The goal is execution, guys, not perfection. You put in months of dedicated preparation, peak weeks just to showcase. Stay calm, focus, present as you demonstrate all prep, the incredible work you've accomplished. Thank you. Your preparation is complete. Trust your plan, execute with confidence, and celebrate your achievement. So, for you guys who are interested in coaching, if this helped you, comment down below. If you guys are interested in coaching, use the link down below to check it out. Book a call, and we will get things moving. But I want to show you guys this last bit. And yeah, we'll end it here, guys. And next one will be about time management and going over how to block off your days to make sure you're the most effective. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed it. And I will see you guys on the next video.